Hello beauties, it's Mrs.Gray. Welcome to my channel. How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. I hope life treats you kind, and I hope you're all safe wherever you are and whatever you do. So today in this vlog, I'm going to show you on how we're going to get our infant into their solid food. Kayo ba ay kagaya ko na mommy na merong infant na ready na for the solid food, or kayo ba ay kagaya ko na seeking knowledge on how to start solid food para sa mga infant natin? Sa dinami-dami ng nakaraang vlogs na uploaded on my YouTube, I think I was doing a lot more of beauty tips. So I just thought na maybe this time we will switch from beauty tips to health tips naman tayo para sa mga infant food. So today I'm going to introduce to you the pumpkin, squash or kalabasa. Yes, and the health benefits na meron ang pumpkin. Well, actually, we'll start from when exactly we gonna start feeding our infant a solid food. So according to the research, maraming nagsasabi na at least 6 months because that is when the time they're growing, and yung meron sa nakukuha nilang food natin even on breast milk is not enough for them to supply the nutrients for their growth. So kailangan nating introduce ang solid food because in the solid food they can get a lot of nutrients that could help them grow more. That's the bracket age kung kailan ini-introduce yung solid food sa mga infant natin. But it's not always the case. It comes to actually case-to-case basis. Introduce the solid food when the baby is actually ready, and they will imply when they are. Just like Aliana, she was just I think 4 months and a half that time when I introduced the solid food to her because she exhibit this gesture that she's ready and she's so curious. Just a little at that time. Our aim here is not to alter the nutrients that they're getting from the formula or from the breast milk that they are having, but at least to equip them as well, their readiness to switch in the future from their milk and more onto the solid food. I was eating ice cream and then she was in front of me, not in front of me, but she was laying on the ground, and then she saw me I was having in my mouth, and what she did is you can actually see in this video what she did. So yes, she was so curious on what I'm having in my mouth. So what I did was kung ano yung dulo ng cone, yun yung nilagay ko dun sa mouth niya for her to touch, because at this time, at this age, the babies are actually, their mode of gratification is in their mouth. So anything that they wanted to touch, anything that they wanted to feel, it actually comes to their mouth. So even if whatever it is, pag hinuhold nila, they couldn't, their brain is not able to interpret kung ano yung nahahawakan nila. Only their mouth, only their tongue. Kasi yung senses nila is andun pa sa kanilang tongue, andun pa sa kanilang tasting, andun sa kanilang mouth. Alec is quite different because Alec is actually going to turn 6 months in a week time from now. Alec is different with Aliana, so that's why I said like introducing solid food to young infant is actually case-to-case basis. Like mostly introduce it from 6 months because that's generally when the baby's growth should be doubled. Growth is really developing. So they need to be topped up. But as I said, it's case-to-case basis. You can actually give it to them when they're ready. And another thing as well, if they are not keeping up with their weight. So what happened to Alec? He was already 5 months old, and we had this health check, and to find out that his weight was not coming up to the equation, the ratio of his age. So he was growing by length, but his weight is being pushed back a bit. So the first trial that I gave to Alec was a potato. I blend, boil the potato and then blend it. One tip when we are introducing a solid food to our child, to our infant, is stick to one food at least for a week. That way we could see kung tinatanggap nila yung food na yun or they have allergy for it. Kasi in that time kasi when they're not ready yet for solid food, they don't, they're still learning, and in the whole through process they're actually learning. So stick to one food, and then you can change later on. So the food that you're going to your infants should be at least cooked. Remember, their tummy is not really that fully developed yet. So pag once na may mga bacteria na i-ingest sila, it could easily irritate. Although they already have this immunization, the vaccine, that when they get immune to this, to these bugs, in the tummy, they can handle it. But it's better for them not to get sick than to be sorry, because the potato is quite heavy, so it didn't work to him. It's really heavy that at night time he would wake up and then he would cry kasi nga masyadong heavy yung potato, which is kay Aliana yun yung gusto niya. Alec is quite, each infant they're actually different, so we have to do a trial and error experimentation at this time, but we have to do the experimentation in a very safe way. I couldn't think of anything that's really safe for him, but if you are familiar with lugaw, rice is a carb, so it means that it could also boost up your calorie, if you have rice. So what I did with Alec, kasi hindi nga niya tinatanggap yung potato, if you're familiar of making lugaw, yes, I made the rice a lugaw, like really lugaw, and then when it was really like soft, kasi lugaw na talaga siya, I blended like really fine. Okay, the first few days or a week of introduction solid food to our kids, or to our infant I should say, lagi ko nakakalimutan is we have to make it so refined. Kasi remember, yung swallowing reflex ng ating mga infant, they're not really that good yet. So anything that's a little bit lumpy, it could sometimes, we don't want any choking na mangyayari. No? It puree. Yun yung dapat gawin natin sa mga food. So, balik tayo sa lugaw. So what I did was, I blended, pureed it, and then, yun yung ini-introduce ko sa kanya. And then this is what it is. So ito yung lugaw natin. As you can see, pinlend ko siya, and it's very smooth. So, ang ginagawa ko is, every time I give him his formula, I actually incorporate at least 3 to 4 teaspoons of this one, just at least to thicken up the milk and to add some more calorie as well. So I was so happy because at the end, after 2 weeks, it actually worked. He gained 300 grams, which is, I'm so happy with that. So from then on, dahil naumpisahan ko na yung solid food in early time, so I thought to continue because nakikita ko din na he's quite into it. So I'll show you how to make the pumpkin for the infant. If they're not reaching 6 months, wag muna. Just stick on the cooked one. So yung mga fresh later na yun, yung mga cooked one muna. Like anything that could go under the in their tummy, like anything that they would ingest, at least do it fully cooked, okay, just to prevent any harmful bacteria na pwedeng makuha nila dun sa mga fresh food. Why pumpkin has a good reputation when it comes to baby food? There is 5 major health benefits to start with when you introduce solid food to your infant. Did you know that among all food or vegetables, pumpkin is the one that has a very less potential your baby could get allergic to? So walang allergen ang pumpkin. Number 1 reason is that it contains very high vitamin A, vitamin A rich source food, and it will actually enhance their vision, their eyesight. Getting more vitamin A will actually enhance your infant to get more better vision daylight or nighttime. Pumpkin aids in digestion. So pumpkin has a lot of fiber in it. That's why it's very light. It's very friendly in your child's tummy. And because it's fibery, it's easy, food is easy to digest, and it helps them avoid constipation. Another thing is, pumpkin is actually good for our immune system. You know why? Because it also have vitamin C. So you don't want your child to be like having runny nose, coughing, sneezing a lot, that signs of high fever. Their immune system sometimes drops down. So pumpkin is really good as well of vitamin C. And another thing as well you would want to know about pumpkin is that it actually helps baby to have a good sleep. And you know why? I was actually amazed when I read that as well. I didn't realize that pumpkin has a tryptophan element. It's like a chemical serotonin that could eventually help your child settle easy. So why not, right? If you mothers, your child is quite hyper or something like that, you can, give the pumpkin. Aside from the nutritional fact that this pumpkin offers, it also helps infant, settles down because of the chemical serotonin that it contains, which is quite really amazing. Last thing that pumpkin has, it supplies essential nutrients that an infant would need in growing, day-to-day growth. Pumpkin is also high in phosphorus, magnesium, helps the infant boost their growth and development. So if you think that pumpkin is just good for like decorations during Halloween or something like entertainment, because pumpkin has a lot of purpose, I think the purpose of pumpkin when it comes to health for our babies is more essential. It's quite amazing to know this kind of properties that pumpkin has. Then you can put them straight to the freezer. Pwede mo siyang i-freeze, and then whenever time na mag-feed ka na, then you can take it out ahead of time and then let it defrost, and then you can warm it in a microwave so it's ready. If your infant hasn't reached 6 months old, tapos ini-introduce mo na tong solid food sa kanya, make sure that whatever food na binibigay mo sa kanya, incorporate it with formula. Lagyan mo siya, haluan mo siya ng at least 1 scoop or 2 scoops. It depends kung gaano kadami yung food na binibigay mo sa kanya. As much as possible, feed them with the milk first before the solid food.